Hey cuties, how's it going? Oh, welcome back to my channel. Oh, I hate that I start every video like that, but I can't think of anything more creative. Anyway, I know it's been a while, but you know I love making these videos for you guys, and for me it's kind of like a video journal of my life. So here we go. The title of this video is Dating as a Single Mom and My Experience. So let's start off with the worst experience. So I've never really felt like I've been judged for being a single mom in like the dating world. I'm like really proud of being a mom. So even when I go out, for the most part, I don't hide the fact that I'm a mom. Sometimes my friends will say it, and actually it kind of bothers me more when my friends will say like, oh yeah, she has like a child, because sometimes I feel like they do it to like make the guy like a little bit less interested in me. So I see you girls. But for the most part, it's like, whatever, you know, am I gonna get mad at them for like mentioning that I have a baby? No, I mean, I have one, like it's okay. But at the same time, I feel like you should tell someone that you have a child when you're ready, and preferably right in the beginning. Okay, so back to my story of the worst time. So this individual, I wasn't even dating him. It was a very like professional relationship. He literally had hired me to take some pictures for his dating profile, whatever. So the first time we did it, it was like super smooth. He paid me really well, and I'm not a professional photographer, so he just wanted like a girl's kind of like perspective of like, okay, like this is what is somebody that this is what I would pick in dating. And then the second time he hires me to take his pictures is probably like 7 months after, because he's had like no luck. So then we go out to like eat, because it had been hours of doing this photo shoot, and then he tells me something like, he just like sits and like stares at me for a little bit, and he's just like, you know, like, you're so cool, you're so pretty, like I really like you, I just hate that you're a mom, like I just wish you weren't a mom, like that just ruins everything. And I was just taken aback, like, squeeze me, sir, like I'm sorry that it bothers you that I'm a mom, like what can I do about that? Like I can't change that, I'm not trying to attract you. So that's the first and last time I've ever had like any complaints about that, because I mean, yeah, like nobody should be saying anything. But I mean, obviously everybody's like, I'm sure people think it, I'm sure people think like, oh, you know, I shouldn't get involved with her, or I shouldn't move forward with her because she is a mom and it is a little bit more serious. I know that some of the guys that I have dated and they've told like their mom about me or something, their moms have been like, okay, well, like don't break her heart, or like don't play with her because she's a mom, like she doesn't have time to play around. So this story is from when I was like newly single, and I was just like kind of getting used to the idea that I was gonna have to find a new partner out there in the streets of San Diego. So naturally, I'm in Pacific Beach, which is my favorite little beach town to be in. So I'm there, I'm doing a promo, I'm like sampling alcohol, and this handsome guy comes up to me and we're just like flirting, we're talking about running and how we're both like super into it, and then he asks for my number, and so I give him my number, which I never do, I never give out my number, but I was like, okay, you know, like how do I meet people if not giving out my number? So, and then he ends up like not texting me till the next day. So here I am like thinking like, oh yes, like I finally like, you know, like got hit on, and or by someone that I actually was interested in back, and he didn't text me, and so I was like a little bit sad about that. And then he ends up texting me like the next day, like super late randomly, and see, like that ended up being like a problem in our relationship later on. Like he was a really, really bad texter, and I'm a really bad texter, so it was just like not good. But it was an interesting experience nonetheless to just go out there and date. So at first, like I didn't tell him that I was a mom. I think it literally took like, so we went on like 2 dates and everything was going great, like everything was fine, and then I just like freaked out, and instead of telling him that I was a mom, I just broke up with him. And then I like missed him and I felt really bad, and I was like, wow, that's like not fair, poor guy, he has no idea why I ended this relationship, and he might think that it's him when really it's just me being scared to tell him the truth. So then on the third day, or the third time we hang out, I'm like, hey, like let's go on a run. And so that way, you know, if like anything went bad, I could just like run away. So anyway, they're running and I'm like, hey, like, I just kind of casually dropped it that I'm a mom. And this man, literally, we're like running and he stops running and he turns around and looks at me, like puts his hands up and goes like that. And it's just like, oh, like, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, this is so bad, like, why did I wait? But it ended up being super fine. I mean, he was like, obviously I'm shocked. And the funny part was like, this is the third time this has happened to me in San Diego. So apparently there's a lot of single moms in San Diego. But yeah, I felt really bad, but I mean, I needed to tell him, and we actually ended up dating for a good like bit after that. So it went well. I mean, it didn't end up working out, but I was grateful for that relationship, and it taught me a lot. Like, he was actually the first guy that has like broken up with me, and but I mean, and really it was because like our personalities were like kind of not the most compatible, and you know, he was an introvert, I'm a huge extrovert, so you know, it was one of those things where like I knew it wasn't gonna work out, but since it was like the first guy that I had kind of like seen since my breakup, I kind of got like a little bit like excited, and I wouldn't say clingy because I'm not a clingy girl, but I don't know, I just got like really into it. Like, I was invested a little bit, so I was a little bit like bummed when it didn't work out. But like I said, I did learn a lot from that relationship, because after we broke up, a little bit after, like, he ended up blocking me on everything. And while I was a little bit offended at first, I started to do the same thing when I break up with people, because it's just like, it was just such a relief for like both of us, you know. I didn't have to worry about him creeping on my stuff. He didn't have to worry about the million things that I post a day. So I don't know, maybe I'll make a video on how to get over a breakup or how to handle a breakup, because oh my gosh, do I have experience getting over breakups. I feel like I'm a very passionate person, so I'm a really big lover and sometimes to a fault, although honestly I don't fall in love easily. So here's to trying to, like, I'm actually stepping out of my comfort zone and online dating. I don't like online dating because it's always seemed like a little bit too shallow for me. Like, I'm literally like looking here at these men's profiles, and like, I just feel like I'm psychoanalyzing them just like based on like simple short answers and their pictures, really. It's like, I don't know. And so I kind of like relationships to be more like organic, especially like the way that you meet, because you get a sense of someone's like personality and vibe, which doesn't translate in a picture. But you know, I'm trying to go out. I go out, I dress cute, I go with a hot friend, and we don't get hit on because of COVID, you know. And so meeting people right now is really hard. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to meet someone when COVID is going around. So I'm really excited for this upcoming year. I'm already accomplishing so much. I feel like it's like my New Year's resolution, but it's like summer. But I don't know, summer is when I like to just pop off. I know this video was all over the place. I'm all over the place. I think I'm just excited because I'm dating again, and I don't know, like, I feel like life is filled with like new hope and possibility, and I'm happy where I am in my life right now. Just like having a good job, having a good relationship, and being ready and open to welcome a new relationship into my life. But I don't think I've been ready to date. Like, for the first year that I was single, I was very much like, I'm not ready to date yet. I don't know, I just wasn't happy where I was like in my life. I knew that I like have certain goals, and I just wasn't really ready even to make the progress like towards like accomplishing those goals. So anyway, long story short, I'm finally in a place where I'm like, okay, I can date. I want to date. I've already been single for a year. There's no reason to like continue to not give these wonderful men out there the opportunity to prove themselves. So I remember when I first became a single mom last summer, I had so many questions for all of my girlfriends that were moms and were dating. Like, what do you put on your profile? Do you put that you are a mom? Do you put that you're like single, like a single mom, or that you're a co-parenting mom? Or like, how did you go on dates? Like, who would watch your kid? Like, stuff like that. And every girl had like a different way that they would go about it. Some girls don't put their children in their dating profiles at all. I personally don't, but I always, well, I only have Hinge. Like I just made it 2 days ago too, so this is like, I'm not like, I haven't been dating. Like I've been on one date literally. Like yesterday was my first online date, and it went well. It was normal, so that's good. Probably won't go out with him again. I'm sorry if you watch this, but yeah, I don't know. I'm very like intentional about like dating, and I just don't want to like waste my time with someone who I don't know, see a future with per se. So anyway, back to like online dating. I don't have a lot of experience with that, but I know for me as a woman picking a partner, there's some guys that will like not have that they're like a dad in their profile, which you can like hide that. My profile doesn't say that I'm a mom, but I didn't hide that. The app just like hid it. I'm sure I can choose to like unhide it, but I don't really care to. I attached my Instagram, and my Instagram has pictures of my son, so you know most guys will creep on you hard enough that they will see that. And a lot of the few guys that I have matched with, they all like figured it out. So it's not like I'm like lying about it, but I wouldn't say like necessarily like promote it or like post a whole picture. I don't know. So like even when I'm choosing like guys and stuff, like a lot of guys will have like a picture of them and like a random baby or like, I don't know, a toddler or something, and I just like wonder like, who is this, you know? So I don't know. I would advise against putting a child in your dating profiles, in your dating profile picture, unless you are a parent. But that's a different topic for a different day. This is about dating as a single parent in general, so let's talk about the pros and cons. I would say that the pros are kind of like people take you a little bit more seriously. Like guys, I know the few guys that I have like kind of been casually seeing or was casually seeing the past year, they would like, you know, tell like, you know, their families about me or whatever, and a lot of their moms would be like, oh yeah, like don't mess with her, or like she's a mom, like definitely like respect her. And to my surprise, a lot of people come from divorced families, so they are totally sympathetic towards the whole like single mom, like dating, treating her right type of thing, because like for a lot of these guys, their mom was a single mom, so they're like, yeah, like I just want to treat you how I would have wanted my mom to be treated. And I'm just like, oh, like how beautiful. Another thing that I've noticed is that a lot of guys are just so willing to be the father of your son or daughter like right away. Like I have a girlfriend that, I kid you not, I don't know why, like everybody just wants to be her new like baby daddy, and I hate saying baby daddy and baby mama because it just sounds so like ghetto, but sometimes it's just appropriate, it's just easier. So like this girl, literally, she's like my really good friend. She kind of looks like me, and she had a roommate move in who ended up just being like, you know what, like I really enjoy the role of like taking care of like you and your daughter. Like I think we could really like be a family. Like I just have this fantasy of us like being a family. And she was just like, what? Like you're my roommate. You just lived here for like a month. Like I get that you helped me with my child, but no one's asking you to. So I think like guys need to kind of like tone that down a little bit when it comes to like single moms. I remember too, like recently, maybe like a month or two ago, I like went out with this guy for like the first time, and he too was also like, oh yeah, like I'm ready to like, I know that you're a mom, like I'm ready to like take on that responsibility, like I'm like ready for like those next steps in my life. And it's just like, whoa, like I'm not even ready for those next steps in my life. Like I don't know, sometimes I feel like people think that because you have a child, you're just gonna be like that much more willing to like want to get married and have another child right away, when that's not always the case for all moms. So you always, you know, get to know the person and check on where they are in life. Even like right now in life, I'm barely at the point where I'm like, okay, like I can start dating. I'm ready to like meet someone and open my heart to loving or losing. And you know, if you are dating, whether as a single parent or not, like props to you, because dating and putting yourself out there, like it's hard, and you're putting yourself out there. You can get rejected, you can get your heart broken, you can not be called back. And all of that just comes with like dating. I know for me, like I'm not only a single mom, I'm a Catholic single mom, so that just adds a whole nother like dynamic to my dating problems, and probably why some guys don't call me back, which is totally fine. I mean, I enjoy dating as a single mom more because I have put more like boundaries, and I'm more like, okay, like I'm really looking for like the one, and a guy who's like gonna stick it out with me, who's not just like the for tonight girl. Like I'm not the for tonight girl, I'm definitely the forever girl, and I don't know, my standards are very, very high, so we'll see how it goes. But online dating, I've never really been a fan, because like I've mentioned, it's a little bit too shallow for my taste, and I've always wanted guys to like me for more than just my looks. But I don't know, Corona's making it really, really hard to meet people, so here we are. So naturally there are struggles dating as a single mom. I would say one of them is just like not having like all the time in the world to hang out with your significant other, but you know, everybody should have like their own thing that they are doing, so that wasn't always like that big of a deal to me, except this one time I was seeing this guy like we had a thing, and it was like his birthday, and I had told him like, oh, I'm gonna have my son this week, like I'm not gonna be able to, like, I don't know, I just said I'm gonna have my son this week. I didn't even tell him I'm not gonna be able to hang out, but this guy like didn't invite me to his birthday, and that's literally what ended our whole relationship, because he was like, well, you were gonna have your son that week, but I was like, well, yeah, that doesn't mean like don't invite me, that just means that like you should like work it out with me, and like let me know in advance, and like maybe I could make it work. So like little things like that, like communication issues, or even like with that same guy, like we were getting so close so fast, and I've known him since I was like really young. It just happened that now that we're like in our mid-20s, we like reconnected and kind of like fell in love. And so I did bring my son on like one of our hangouts, and he was just so good with him. Actually, it went like wonderful. Like he was so good with him, actually, and he even told me after, like, wow, like watching you with your son made me like fall for you more. And I was like, wow, like watching you with my son like made me like you more, but it also freaked me out, so it can never happen ever again. And I'm like that, you know, I'm kind of like all over the place. And so I just got really nervous after. I was like, I don't want you to get attached to my son, I don't want him to get attached to you. And so I just kind of like was like, we can never hang out with my baby ever again. So I don't know, man, dating and like involving your child really like changes things. But I think for now, me and the father of my son kind of have like a mutual understanding of, even though we're dating, he's been online dating for like months now, and I don't know, but we talked about it, like we're not gonna bring people into his life until we're like, it's like really, really serious. So that was interesting, and I guess maybe like I'll cross that bridge when we get there in the future, but I don't think I can handle like obviously bringing my son around like any guy for a really, really long time. Like he's definitely gonna have to be like my boyfriend, and I don't know, there's a lot of steps in dating before someone can be your boyfriend. That's another thing that I don't like about dating, I guess. It's like guys assume that because you've been like hanging out, or like you go to eat, and I guess that's a date, like then you guys are dating, and sometimes they like skip that part and they just think that they're like your boyfriend, and I'm just like, whoa, you know, I don't know. So honestly, it's not like that much different dating as a single mom as it was just like dating. The only thing is like, I think I take myself more seriously, and so guys take me more seriously because I'm a mom, and they and I don't know, I'm just like, as I get older, as I have my priorities in line, I'm just a little bit more serious about like dating, and not as easy to like dismiss like red flags when I see them. So, and obviously when you're dating as a single mom, you really you look at a man or your potential significant others in a whole nother light. I mean, you want to make sure that they you know, have a good credit score, have no debt, like a savings, like a stable job, like stuff like that. So those things definitely do change when you are dating as a single parent, which is like totally normal. My last 2 cents to end this video is something that I recently saw one of my other single mom friends post, and it was a picture of her and she was like wearing a bathing suit, and she wrote like a caption, something about like how she gets it, you know, she's an attractive mom, but the whole like MILF fantasy and how guys just like have the hots because she's like a mom and stuff, it's just like inappropriate and it's like not okay. And I would have to agree with that. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm super happy that somebody's like talking about it, because guys, they really do have this like crazy mom MILF fantasy, and it's just like, it's weird. It makes me feel like very uncomfortable. I don't mind being called like a hot mom, a MILF. Like I call myself a hot mom. I tell my friends we're in the hot moms club all the time, but I don't know. I guess just like guys, just like don't be so raunchy about it. Like there's so many other things that you can compliment a woman about that's a mom, that has nothing to do with like her physical appearance and like sexuality. You could be like, wow, I really like your parenting style, or your child is really thriving and happy, like you look so happy, you're just doing such a wonderful job, like stuff like that. Like whenever I get compliments that have nothing to do with my physical appearance or being a MILF, I am like, yay, gold star. It just makes me feel like way better. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys got something out of this video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, because hopefully I will be making more videos for you guys. Love you lots. See you guys next time. Bye.
Don't forget that Jesus loves you too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day.